You make my world a better place.
Yes.
He's walking with me.
I can depend on you.
It's not like I don't already have enough variety in my veterinary life, but sometimes it's nice to keep up to speed with animals in the country. So I've been invited by the guys at Hamilton Animal Health to give them a bit of a hand. Now, if past experiences are anything to go by, they seem to save up the special stuff for the city kid.
Chris is on his way to Hamilton in country Victoria to meet up with Dr. Christabel Lewis.
Hello, how you going? Hey, nice to meet you.
You too. You're after Christabel.
I am, yeah, thank you.
Belle, next up for you.
Next up, the patient.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Looking forward to this.
Good, good. Come and have a look around.
Thank you.
The Hamilton Animal Health Clinic looks after Victoria's Western districts. It's a very busy vet clinic.
Good girl. Good girl.
So where would you like me to set up?
Straight to the car, if you don't mind, Chris.
You're sending me to the car.
Yeah. We've got a pig out McFarlane's Road that needs some attention. She's waiting for you.
Has someone told you about my colourful history with pigs? No, okay, that's probably a good thing.
No.
All right.
Are you okay?
I'm going to be fine.
All right. Good.
Thank you. I'll see you
Waiting
later.
for you. Thank you.
Chris's first assignment is at a local pig farm, just 10 minutes from the clinic.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Been sent out to see your pig. How you going, Chris?
Yeah, Dave. You all
Nice to
right?
meet you, Dave. Dave's got me out here because Pepper has had a few litters of piglets where things haven't exactly gone to plan. She's had a normal number of piglets, but some of them have been stillborn. She's not a small girl.
No, she's fair size now, yeah. 2.5 years old.
So she's had a few litters?
She's had 3 litters. The first litter was all right. She had 8 healthy piglets. The second litter, just noticed that there was a couple of stillborn come out of there, and this last litter, yeah, it was an absolute disaster. There was only one that survived. Yeah.
All right, so we've got a problem.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
I'd really need to give her a bit of a check over, and then from there, hopefully, we can work out a bit of a plan about how we work out what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be great, I reckon. Yeah.
You could forgive me for being a little apprehensive when it comes to treating pigs. After all, I've had a fairly colourful history. First, there was Miss Piggy, 175 kilos of Fijian porker. She was about as big as a girl gets, and there was no way she was going to tolerate my ideas for a pedicure.
We had fun, didn't we? Kind of cute.
Then there was Lola. She needed a nose ring, but gave me one hell of a run around in the process. And who could forget Percy the Peccary, an aggressive little unit. He had teeth bigger than a lion and an attitude to match. Safe to say, he didn't like me one little bit. Wow, she's strong.
Yeah, she'll be a bit tough to get hold of, I reckon, really are.
What I'm thinking is that rather than me chase her around, let's play a little bit harder to get. Let's try to push her into maybe that narrow area there. And that way she should be a little bit easier to control. Okay, let's jump in. Much to my relief, Dave has called in a reinforcement. His dad, Colin. Another business to attend to. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I know. Pepper's gone straight into the race. I think I just had my first ever cooperative pig patient. I didn't see that coming. Just have a listen to what's happening in here. Her heart rate is 90.
Yep.
Which is good. So the amount of muscle and the amount of fat she's carrying there is really encouraging. Let's get a temperature. Okay. That's normal as well. What's really intriguing here is the fact that Pepper is healthy, apart from when she's pregnant. And at that time, something is affecting her and causing her to lose those piglets. Working out what that is here is the big challenge.
Good
Good boy.
At the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH, Jane and her Australian miniature bulldog Gulliver are waiting to see emergency vet Dr. Lisa Chimes.
It's all right, Gull. Yeah, good boy. Yeah.
The much-loved one-year-old has a sore eye that is causing extreme pain and discomfort.
Gulliver is one of 4 dogs that we've got, and they have this fabulous game of racing through bushes, and we think that Gulliver ended up with a stick in one of his eyes. He's been terribly sore, really unhappy, really sooky, hasn't wanted to play, hasn't wanted to eat. Just a really unhappy little dog, which is so out of his character.
This must be Gulliver.
It is.
Hello. Want to bring him through?
Absolutely.
Jane has brought Gulliver in today. He's a 1-year-old bulldog, and for the last few days, he's had a really sore eye. Oh, it's very red. You see, that's really red there. Gulliver could have an ulcer in his eye, he could have something stuck in there, he could have an infection. I need to take a closer look at the eyes and do some tests before I can know what's going on. That's a good boy. So all we're doing here is we're checking his tear production. If he's got dry eye, if he hasn't got enough tears, then that can contribute to him developing ulcers. Oh no. So I can tell by that that's fine.
Good lad.
Fortunately, Gulliver's tear production is normal, which means he doesn't have dry eye, but we still need to get to the bottom of this problem. Next, I'm going to perform a test on Gulliver's eyes to check for ulcers, which means that the top layer of the clear part of his eye has been scraped off, and that's incredibly painful, and it's something I really hope that Gulliver has not got. So on the surface of this eye, there actually is a superficial ulcer.
Really?
He's got one in that eye too. I know. Ulcers can affect one eye, but in Gulliver's case, both of his eyes are affected. Now that makes me worried that there is a problem with his eyes or eyelids. What I would like to do now is have a closer look at his eyelashes and see if I can see any that are growing in abnormal spots. All right, bud, so that explains it. He's got these little eyelashes that are scratching the surface of his eye. So instead of the eyelid being nice and smooth and spreading the tear film and protecting the eyes, his eyelids are traumatizing his eyes. So they're doing the wrong thing.
The only solution is surgery.
We've got to get those eyelashes out.
Okay.
That's the only way that we're ever going to get his eyes to heal, is to remove those eyelashes. Gulliver has a condition called dystichia, which means he has eyelashes growing in an abnormal position. Now, if we don't treat these eyes, those eyelashes are going to continue to scrape the surface of the eye, the ulcers are going to get deeper and deeper, and he could lose his vision. In the worst case scenario, he could lose both his eyes.
When you're dealing with a situation where she's having trouble sustaining those piglets right through the 110, 115 days of her pregnancy, something's happening in there to stop her from actually being able to carry them the whole way.
Yep.
In Western Victoria, Chris is trying to find out what is causing Pepper to give birth to stillborn piglets.
What I'm a bit suspicious of is the fact she actually may be carrying a virus, and this virus has a way of just exerting its influence just at the wrong time. So when she is pregnant and she's got those piglets on board, it can actually get into the womb there and will actually attack those piglets and kill some of them halfway through the pregnancy. That virus is called parvovirus.
Oh, yeah.
So that is probably the thing we should be checking for.
Yeah.
I'm sure when most people hear parvovirus, they think about dogs, where it causes a really nasty, bloody diarrhoea that is often fatal. In pigs, though, it's very different. It rarely affects the adults. Instead, it attacks the piglets that are developing inside mum.
The way we test for that virus is with a blood test. So we need to get blood out of her without her getting blood out of us.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no doubt the best place to get blood out of a pig is from the jugular vein. It's like a hose. But in pigs, getting access to that vein isn't easy. What I'm thinking is, We don't use the neck.
Where else can we go?
That end. Sitting on the underside of the tail is the tail vein. It's not big, but it is quite accessible. So my hope is to get a needle into that vein, draw out the few mils of blood that we need, and we'll be happy. All right, so you can see, got a couple of mils of blood there.
Yep.
So we'll send it off to the lab straight away. But it makes sense that this parvovirus would be causing what you're seeing with her.
Yeah. Wait to hear back.
Yeah.
The results of Pepper's blood work should be back soon. It will be an anxious wait for Dave until then.
If this test comes back as being positive for parvovirus, it means a few things. Firstly, it's unlikely that Pepper will contract the virus again. They tend to produce their own antibodies against it. But for the rest of the pigs here, they'll need a vaccination because they are vulnerable to the virus. I'll pass this on to the clinic.
Hey, no worries.
Thanks
I'll wait to
very
hear
much.
back.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
What a good, brave dog.
At Sash, Gulliver is about to undergo surgery to remove the stray eyelashes growing inside his eyelids. The tricky operation will be performed by ophthalmologist Alison Groth.
The risks if Gulliver doesn't have this surgery are pretty serious. He does have an ulcer, and if the ulcer became infected and the infection was serious, he could even lose the eye. Okay. He's got a lot of abnormal eyelashes.
As surgery gets underway, Alison discovers that Gulliver's eye problems are worse than first thought.
Gulliver has two real problems. The first is that he has hairs growing from the ends of his eyelids, so similar to human eyelashes, except that dogs aren't supposed to have them. The second problem that he has is that he actually has hairs growing from the inside of his eyelid, which is very abnormal, and certainly every time he blinks is just going to be causing a lot of irritation.
Alison now has the painstaking task of removing the multitude of tiny hairs that are aggravating both of Gulliver's eyes.
He's very severely affected.
Every tiny hair needs to be removed if the surgery is going to be a success.
So this is an electrolysis needle, so I'm going to place this tiny filament down the hole that the abnormal eyelashes are coming out of.
As well as pulling the hairs out, Alison must also send an electrical pulse into the hair follicle to make sure it doesn't grow back.
This is more or less the same thing that people will have done to get rid of unwanted hairs.
After an hour, Alison removes the final stray hair from inside Gulliver's eyelid.
That's it. He's done. So a massive number of hairs on Gulliver's eyelids, so it was really important that we remove those, and I'm really happy with how it went.
Great.
Although there'll be a little bit of swelling when he wakes up, I think he'll feel pretty good. All right, sweetie. It's been a very good patient.
He's definitely not in there. No, mate, I can see 3, not 4. He's supposed to be in here.
Overnight, Theo the koala has gone missing from his home at the Australian Reptile Park. General Manager Tim Faulkner is justifiably concerned.
Yeah, I got to tell you, mate, I always get worried when koalas are out. I mean, we got dingoes here, devils there. Let's have a look at this yard and then find him.
OK, mate.
Yeah. We have 13 koalas here at the reptile park, and sometimes they go missing. They don't vanish into thin air, but perhaps a keeper leaves a hose or a rake up against the fence, and koala climbs out. Other times, they just get the desire to jump out. It's not easy, but it happens. Well, the yard's good. I mean, there's no obvious signs out, so it's something else. But, you know, our priority now, we've got a koala on the loose.
Theo's on the loose.
Yep, we've got to find him.
Righto, let's get on.
Come on, Theo, where are you, mate? Where are you, buddy? I'm really worried about Theo. Koalas, when they get out, they climb up a tree in a safe spot, go up, across a limb into another tree, and they can come down and be someone's lunch. Dingo yard, devil yard, alligator lagoon. We can't let that happen. We've got to find him, and fast. What are you doing up there, mate? You haven't seen anyone about this big, fluffy, black nose? I hope not. Keep looking up.
After more than an hour of searching for the elusive Theo, Tim and Mike have turned up nothing. The situation is getting desperate.
Theo, boy, Theo. What have you done?
We'll look for Theo all day if we have to. He could be up really high in a tree, covered by leaves and foliage, and simply, we can't see him. If we have to, we'll stay here at night. I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Come on, Theo, where are you, mate?
I've had a call from one of the vets we collaborate with pretty closely. He really would appreciate some help with some fertility testing on bulls.
Do not tell me that with a straight face, because you know what that is.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do know what that is. We're talking testicles. And we're talking measuring testicles.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be on my way.
In country Victoria, Chris is on his way to a local farm where there is a very unusual job to be done.
Oh, you've got to be joking. What am I here for?
Dr. David Rendell is the man responsible for making sure this herd of breeding bulls can father multiple babies.
I've been stitched up, haven't I? I'm already a little bit unsure about today. And then I turn up and see Dave dressed like he's ready for battle. What are we doing? It's a warm welcome. I hope it's a warm welcome. Yeah. Do I need to warm these up?
Well, it won't hurt.
Yeah? They like that more?
They do like it more with a cold hand,
Okay.
cold heart, they tell me.
Should we get to work?
These bulls have to get 30 to 50 cows in calf in 6 weeks, so part of our job is to actually palpate the scrotum, which takes a bit of experience and technical expertise to make sure that they're A1 for bullets.
This is not just a test for the bulls. The city vet is also under pressure to perform.
Are those hands warm?
Yeah,
Chris?
I think they are now.
Let's get stuck into it.
Okay.
Come on, Theo, where are you, mate?
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim and Operations Manager Mike are searching for the elusive Theo.
Where are you, boy? Where are you?
The koala has escaped from his enclosure and has now been missing for more than 2 hours.
Mike to Tim.
Go ahead.
I've got Theo.
Ah, you little ripper. Good on you, mate.
The good news, Mike's found Theo. The bad news is he's dangerously high up a tree and he plans to stay there.
Well, you found him. Now we've got to get him down.
The fun part.
Yeah. I don't want him to get any higher.
No, I don't want him any higher either.
Theo, no more. The plan now is just to scale the tree, try and get myself up high enough that I can then use the pole. And the pole's got a plastic bag on the end that makes a bit of noise. Now you put that above the koala's head and hopefully it makes the koala come down. I'm coming up, Theo.
That's it, mate.
Come on. Oh, he's going up.
As soon as Tim begins scaling the tree, Theo's on the run.
He's going up.
The higher Theo gets, the more risky the rescue operation becomes.
Come on, pal.
He's going even further, lovely.
I don't want to have to go to the top of that tree because it starts blowing in the wind then and it gets a bit scary. If he goes up too high, I can't follow. I have to pull back for my safety and for Theo's. If the branch gets too thin, it could bend and snap and he's going to come crashing down. No higher, Theo.
looks big. What's his weight here?
1,200 kilograms.
1,200.
1.2 tonnes.
It's a lot of man.
It's a big man.
In Western Victoria, Chris is about to give this massive bull a very intimate examination. He needs to make sure that this breeder has what it takes to father multiple babies.
The size that matters, seriously, is actually down here.
Correct.
This sounds like a joke, but there is a really important side to it, because if you're a breeding bull, this is the exam you have to pass if you're to enjoy the spoils of your profession. Tape measure. Forget about all that stuff about size not mattering. Here, it is really important. Their balls have to be between 35 and 45 centimetres and just the right level of firmness. 1 is too hard, 5's too soft, ideally 2, maybe 3.
So 45, we need to feel you as well. He feels firm, but how firm is too firm?
In a good testicle, it should feel like a firm, hard bicep you'd be proud to show off to your best mates.
Actually does feel the same. So he's firm, but not too firm. He's big, but not too big. It seems like in the world of bulls, that's the mark of a champion. Numbers that matter, 45 and 3.
Let's go.
Is that a good score?
Excellent.
He's going to be stoked with that.
Bull 1, he passes the test.
But before the bull can head back to the paddock, he needs to be immunised and sprayed to make sure he's healthy and at the top of his game.
All clear, big guy. You're ready to roll. He doesn't want to leave. Hey, these hands. Right, buddy, come on. Otherwise, I'll do it again. And this time, they'll be cold.
That thread is enough to get the bull moving.
Jeez, you're a big unit, aren't you?
Up next, an experienced older bull.
So his name is 817, a 5-year-old bull. Let's get down to business. Now, David, he's hanging quite low. Bull 2, the moment I look at him, something's not quite right. His right testicle, looking good. Left one, shrunken and soft. The fact is, the size of their balls reflects their breeding potential. How many cows they can meet, greet and do the business with in a very short period of time.
To be a star performer, both the bull's testicles need to be firm and measure between 35 and 45 centimetres in diameter.
His right is quite large and a nice consistency, but his left is quite soft and quite small.
You're spot on there, Chris. The left one is in real strife.
And as for those all-important numbers...
So, 40 centimetres. Didn't like that score. What was he last year? 42. 42.
Small and shrinking testes mean that this bull is likely to have a low sperm count, which is not good news for a breeding bull.
So he wouldn't be fit to breed like this?
He's not going to be fit to join up 40 cows. No, he'll have to have a rest.
Tape measure rules all, doesn't it?
It does.
The harsh reality of Bull 2 not quite measuring up is the fact that he won't be doing any breeding this year.
It's bad news for this patient, but Chris has one more client to see.
Up you get, up you get. He's a big boy. But I guess the question is, he's big where it matters. I think we've got a 3 here, David. But let's go for the measure. The one thing I remember from vet school is being told that a bull's ball should look like 2 Coke cans and a footy sock. And these ones actually do. All right. 43 centimetres and 3 for consistency.
That's the same figures as last year.
Yeah. So he'll be breeding this year?
He'll be breeding and he'll be having a crack at 50 females in his joining group.
His measurements, massive. Firmness, just right. This guy is a standout.
Okay. All right. Try to see this as being the tick of approval.
A vaccination and worming drug completes his treatment.
When you're a star performer, you get the star treatment. And so they tell me. That's what happens when you have 43 centimetres behind you. Get looked after.
Bull number 3 gets the tick of approval, but has the city boy passed his test?
Yeah, Chris did a great job with dog. He's obviously grown up in a farm or had some farm experience. To get behind a bull like that, it takes a bit of nerve and confidence, and he did a great job.
Firm handshake, a 3. A 3 handshake.
I reckon you're a 2 on the handshake.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
That's pretty high now. No higher, Theo.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim is attempting a dangerous rescue operation.
Come on, mate.
Theo has escaped from his enclosure and is now precariously balanced at the top of a tree.
Come on, Theo. Come on, mate. Down this way, please. That's a boy.
Tim must now coax Theo down before the koala falls and injures himself.
Little bit more, buddy, that hand. Come on. Yeah, I know you're cranky, mate.
But Theo isn't interested in coming down.
Come on, Pally. Theo's a man on a mission and he doesn't want to play ball. He's putting up a fight. So I'm trying to unhook one hand while he's grabbing on with the other. He's moving around the back of the tree. Then he starts to bite. It's not easy. Come on, pal. Come on, onto me, mate. Don't forget I'm up in the tree too, buddy.
You got him?
Yep, trying to bite.
Yeah, you happy?
Yep. Settle down. Settle down. Theo's accepted that he's coming down, and once he's on me, he settles. But I've got to get the two of us down safely. Do you think you can grab him, mate?
Yeah, I can get him now.
Please, that claw out of my back.
Come on, Theo.
Thank you.
Come on, mate. Oh, geez, he's got me now. Oh. Okay, it's okay.
With Theo now safe, it's time for the cheeky koala to go back to his enclosure.
Well, he knows he's home, mate. He's having a good sniff.
He does. What do you think he got out?
Well, I got a suspicion, mate. Wouldn't be the first time. I reckon he's out looking for love.
Ah, Theo. You little devil, out looking for the ladies. Tim's got a theory that Theo's gotten out because he's after a girl. Now, I'm personally happy to help out any of my little male buddies here. So, Theo, we're going to see what we can do for you.
In country Victoria, Chris is responding to a call for help from a farm where there's a newborn in trouble.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's Lindy, right?
Yes, Lindy, yep.
Thank you.
You know?
Now, I've heard all about your horse.
Yes. A bit of a surprise packet, getting twins.
Tell me what's happened.
Well, the mare had twins last Wednesday.
Yep.
She had them naturally. She cleaned them up, but she's just been rejecting one.
Lindy tells me she's got a tricky situation here. We've got a mare that's given birth to twin foals, but all of a sudden has started playing favourites. So I'm guessing this is her here.
Yes.
And these are her little babies
They're
here?
her babies, her two little colts.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think they're both nice.
Yeah. They're...
Equally. Both as beautiful.
She doesn't think so.
No.
She'd rather have one and not the other, unfortunately.
Okay.
Brothers Dot and Dash are little miracles. The chances of their mother Hope delivering twin foals was 10,000 to 1.
Horses are used to having one baby, just that one foal they can focus on and they can love. The problem we've got here is that with this mare having two foals, it doesn't seem right. To her, she knows that she should only have one foal, and so she's made her mind up and she's chosen one.
Come on, little one.
Hey, little guys. Hey. Okay, so the first one that went there is the favourite?
The favourite, yes. The other little one is the not so favourite.
So the one with the stripe is the one she doesn't like?
Yep.
So she's fine right now, but she's having little looks around
Yep.
and she's smelling which is which?
Yeah, she knows hers is the one closest.
Okay.
And she's happy with that.
Yep.
And this little guy, he moves out a bit and then she's not quite so happy.
So now this becomes a dangerous situation
For this little fella, yeah.
Because they're isolated on either side.
Yeah, and she can start to pick up the hind leg. She starts to want to push him out of the way.
Within seconds of Dot leaving the teat, Mum becomes aggressive to Dash.
Okay, so we're just getting a little nip in there now.
Yeah, she's saying that's enough.
Sadly for this foal, he can never stay drinking long enough to get a proper feed. As a result, he's losing weight and he's falling behind.
Little Dash is now so hungry that despite the danger, he risks trying to suckle a second time.
He's a little gun, he's just...
But I guess he has to, doesn't he? I mean, survival depends on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
See that?
Yeah. So a little kick there. Then she fends
He's
him away.
streetwise, he's learnt to get out of the way a bit.
But he hasn't got away every single time.
No,
I mean, you can see little marks on him there.
Yes, she has got him a couple of times.
The situation is critical. Dash is now so malnourished that his ribs are protruding from his tiny body.
She won't let him feed on his own. She just kicks him out of the way or bites him. She really takes objection to him being around her. She just bites and kicks.
If Dash has any chance of survival, Chris has to find a solution.
Why are we doing this, huh? You couldn't open up your heart just a little bit more? Ooh. You look at that little face of his and he seems sad, and it's with good reason. His mother, the only one essentially to guide him through his early months of life, doesn't like him, doesn't even want to have a bar of him. She has rejected him.
He's ready, mate. He's been calling the whole way.
At the Australian Reptile Park, matchmaker Tim is about to introduce the amorous Theo.
There you go, pal.
To his potential new girlfriend, Pia.
Theo is a young male, prime of his life, 3 years old, and this will be his first introduction to a female Pia. Now, he's a teenager. He got halfway here last night. That's probably what he was after, so it's a pretty exciting day. Hey, mate. Yeah, and he's been grunting, like koalas do, the whole way from the yard to here.
The only question now is, will there be koala chemistry between Theo and new mum Pia?
I'm really excited for Theo. He's shown us all the signs, we've found a perfect match, and we're about to introduce them. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is little Polly. I don't think what we're about to see is something appropriate at her tender age. Good girl, come over here. You might not want to see this.
Let's go, mate. Up you go. There you go. That's Pia. Be gentle. That's good. Oh, no, you're still missing. Lift up a little. Lift her up. There we go. That's it. Good boy. Just needed a little bit of help. Excellent. Successful mating, mate.
Very successful.
She's nice and quiet too. Very easy. Perfect timing.
Oh, Polly hasn't seen a thing.
Good.
No, she hasn't seen a thing. It's okay, darling. Look at the eucalyptus trees out there.
That's it. She's finished. That was good.
That was unreal.
Excellent. Yep. That's the most perfect mating you could hope for. Wow, Theo. For a first mating, that was brilliant. He showed all the trademark skills that we want to see in a young adult male koala. Should be pretty impressed with himself.
The hope is Pia will fall pregnant and give birth to another little Joey in 5 weeks' time. As for Theo, he's pretty impressed with his efforts.
Go on, give us a roar. Give us a roar. Good. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Well done, mate.
What a day. Theo, he did get out, but we were able to get him back, introduce him to Pia, and I feel really good because we've been able to help them mate and start the next generation. Our little boy's a man. Theo, Theo, Theo.
Ooh, okay. She seems like a lovely horse.
Yeah.
But she is so conscious of that other foal being around, and she knows that's not the one for her.
Yeah.
Even though it is her flesh and blood.
Yeah.
She's biting, she's kicking, she's snorting at it. I mean, she couldn't be making it more clear that she doesn't like that other foal.
Yeah.
In Western Victoria, Chris is trying to come up with a solution to help 7-day-old Dash. The tiny foal was born a twin, but now has been rejected by his mother and is being victimised.
You look at this foal and the signs of rejection are written all over his body. He's got bite marks from her grabbing hold of him and essentially telling him to get lost. Wow, like mother, like son. Hey, don't you think he's getting enough from over here? If this couldn't get any harder for him, it just has, because his brother has now picked up on his mum's behaviour and he's also starting to bite him.
And this is where I think it's time to make a decision on what we're going to do, because I just feel sorry for him. He's just getting bashed about.
we have to take action.
Yeah.
Because that foal's only going to get more hurt
Yeah.
and fall further behind.
Yeah.
The ideal situation for any foal is that it should be raised by its mother. She gives him food, but at the same time, she teaches him about life. She teaches him how to be a good horse. In this situation, though, it's just not possible. There is something we can do, but it involves a lot of work.
What's that?
Well, you're going to have to hand rear. There really is only one answer here. He has to be taken away from his mother and bottle raised. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but it's going to be the kindest thing for him.
I travel a lot and I'm not always home, so I don't think it's an option for me to try and bottle rear it. But I have got a good friend in Hamilton who loves doing things like rear animals. He's got a few little ponies in the paddock that he could live with and have a pretty normal life and get onto the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we've reached that point.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately. I think it's quite important that it has some love in its life. It needs some loving, it needs some nurturing for it to survive and have a reasonable chance of life.
No, you don't believe it now, but you will be better off without him. Huh? You will, mate. Come on.
Dash will leave his mum and brother immediately. His new home is at a farm just 30 minutes away.
The good news for this foal with being bottle raised is the fact he gets all the milk he needs. He'll catch up with his growth. He'll actually become probably as big, if not bigger than his brother. But importantly, he won't get picked on anymore. It's going to be okay, yeah? All right, let's do it. There's no doubt that Dash is a fighter. He's had to be just to survive up until this point. But what he's been missing is love. If he gets some of that, I've got no doubt he'll be a great horse one day.
Hey, buddy. How are you feeling today? Come on out. Let me have a look at you. Alison said it went really well.
At Sash, it's been 24 hours since Gulliver underwent delicate eye surgery to remove stray eyelashes growing inside his eyelids.
They look pretty good.
Tiny hairs were causing painful ulcers to develop on both eyes. Without treatment, the Australian miniature Bulldog could have lost his sight.
Gulliver's making a great recovery. His eyelids are a little bit swollen and a little bit pink, but overall he's doing really well. You ready? Should we get out of here? I've got someone in the waiting room for you.
Owner Jane hasn't seen Gulliver since his operation.
Come on, buddy.
I just want him to be happy and feeling happy and relaxed and hopefully with no pain.
Who's there? Not there. There.
Hello, sausage. How are you? Hello. Let's see you. Oh, hello, darling. How have you been? Good boy. So how did it go, Lisa?
Went really well. There were actually a lot of hairs there, so it took Alison quite a while to laser them all off, but she did it in the end. The eyelids are smooth and his eyes can heal, and that's what happened overnight.
That's amazing.
Yep. So they're pretty
darling.
good.
Look, you've got your blue eye back, honey.
The amazing thing is that Gulliver's ulcers have healed overnight, and that just goes to show how much damage those eyelashes were causing. I'm just so happy that this little guy is no longer in pain and his vision will be crystal clear.
All right, mate, let's go. Thank you
See you
so
later.
much. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, Gulliver.
Let's go.
Be a good boy.
Good boy. Oh, he looks wonderful. I can't wait to get him in the car and get him home to his family.
As for Pepper, the porker's test results are back.
All the evidence points to her having had parvovirus. She's now been vaccinated, which means there's no reason why in the future she can't have a big litter of piglets that are all happy and healthy.
So with Pepper sorted, it's time for Chris to say his goodbyes to the Hamilton Animal Health Clinic.
Well, Christabel, you promised me variety. You delivered. But until, I guess, you have more bulls or pigs or foals for me to look at, I've got to go.
It's been great having you. Thanks so much.
It's been
for
really,
coming.
really good. I'll see you soon. That's a 3, by the way. It's a good answer.
Yeah, good, thanks. Good boy. Hey, is that good?
8 weeks later, and the news is all good for little Dash, the foal which was being picked on by his mother and brother.
Oh, okay.
With love and attention from carer Jess, Dash is now thriving.
Chris definitely made the right decision removing Dash from his mum. So had he not been removed, he wouldn't have been able to survive.
Good boy.
He's growing at the rate that we really want him to be. He's drinking consistently. He loves to play. He's a really happy, healthy foal, and we're really happy with how he's going.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.